So, guys, D.C Fire here. We did lead. This is part 2 of What If Me and my friend LJ, aka Tiptoemeal. Go subscribe to him. We're in Naruto, and I left off with my team guy being accepted into team guy. He accepted us. So now I'm gonna do this fight with Kurenai. Well, Kurenai and his team, which is the team with Landon on it. This team, pretty strong. They go to the middle of the forest, like where training ground it, to fight and stuff, right? She tells them to fight her to get in order to pass. My friend LJ, which is still like Sasuke's brother, if y'all didn't watch the first part, go check it out. Rush instantly activates his Sharingan, one more Sharingan, and rushes at Tamari. Not fucking Tamari. What am I talking about? Rushing at Kurenai, and instantly bring out two kunais to assist him. He goes into like a clashing match, like Kenjutsu against Kurenai. And after she kicks him in the stomach, sending him flying, Shino uses his bugs to catch him, to make giant hands out of his bugs to catch Landon. He says thanks to Shino, but then rushes back in, body flickering behind Kurenai and hitting her with a fireball jutsu. She poofs into smoke, appearing right behind Landon. And then Landon, since the Sharingan can kind of see chakra and color, he senses Kurenai at the last second, but still Kurenai gets the hit on him, getting landed a kick in his side, sending him flying to a tree. Then Kiba comes in with Fang over Fang. I mean, literally, this does nothing since Kurenai literally kicks Akamaru and Kiba and just splits them up, kicking them into kind of two. And then Hinata comes in and actually goes into a taijutsu match with Kurenai. And Landon comes in with a fire style Phoenix Fire Jutsu at the top, with Hinata have to dash back so Kurenai can get hit, but Kurenai body flickers out of the way of these attacks and dodging most of it. Then Landon sends down a valley and many of kunais towards Kurenai, and the Kurenai easily dodged all of these, even assisting her with two kunais that she grabs in the air from the kunais that Landon threw, and uses these to her defense to block the others. And after she does that, Landon body flickers at the bottom, tries to hit her with an uppercut kick, I think. A kick from down. I don't know these moves, guys. I'm not a specialist in martial arts, but try to kick her from an uppercut kind of way. But she instantly blocks this and grabs Landon's leg and just throws him. Shino comes from up top and actually places bugs on her to sap away her chakra. After feeling this, she puts all the team in a genjutsu without them even knowing. Sorry guys, I got a cough. Sorry guys. But she puts them all in genjutsu without them even knowing. And puts them in a genjutsu where they're getting stabbed by multiple kunais. Just multiple kunais flying at them. But since Shino has these bugs on him, he's able to break out the genjutsu just luckily enough, because the genjutsu wasn't serious to the point that they'll never be able to break out of it. So After he does that, he uses the bugs to break his other team out, and Shino proceeds to form his bug into a giant arm to hold down Kurenai, while Lennon comes from the top with a drop down kick, but she instantly blocks, putting LJ under another genjutsu, showing what Shino has to do. He puts one bug inside each of his teammates to make sure they don't get put on the genjutsu by Kurenai. Breaking LJ out of the genjutsu, he uses fireball ninjutsu to put his kunais and other weapons on fire to throw at Kurenai. She has to block these. She has to block and dodge all of these. And this gives time for Hinata to come up from behind Kurenai to hit her with 200 trigger and 64 palms. They thought, and hitting her chakra points, they thought they won the fight, but Kurenai shows up behind LJ and holds up a kunai to his neck, saying, "You guys are actually pretty strong. You pass," showing that they are worthy to be on her team and to train. So after Team 7 goes on the Land of Waves arc, basically me and LJ just train with Guy, and I train with Guy to master some of the 8 gates, and Landon trains with Kurenai, and Kurenai actually sees that Landon can have some good potential in using genjutsu, since that is kind of part of his clan with the Sharingan. People being feared to even look in the Uchiha's eyes because they can instantly cast a genjutsu under you. So not only does she help him with those Uchiha genjutsu, but she also helps him with some not have to use his Sharingan genjutsu. And I basically just learned up to the third gate on this month. Probably the second gate if you want to be real. But I'll say the third gate at least. The third gate at least, guys. So I mastered up to that, and I become immensely strong. And now, since seeing that Kurenai sees that her team is ready, they're pretty strong, they did a good job facing against her. She listened to the shooting exams, and Team Guy saying that we're also pretty strong. He also lists us in the shooting exams. After that, me and Team Guy, we actually do go into the doors of the shooting exams to go to the written test, but Lee just runs off, and Neji tells me to follow Lee to see what he's doing, and he actually runs up to Team 7 to fight Sasuke. And I just see the fight go on, and Lee just telling me not to help at all, which I wasn't going to do anyway, because it really wasn't my problem. So, after seeing Sasuke just lose, which is very surprising from Sasuke, since I knew him as being one of the strongest people I knew, with his, anger, and his anger pushing to become even powerful each day, to just lose to Lee was was pretty surprising, but not that surprising since knowing that Lee is also very strong and I see him in action. So I after that we would get done with the written test, just instantly passing that, and going to the Forest of Death. Neji tells us to split up into 2 groups. Neji going with Tenten. Since I'm going to be making this plot to flirt with Tenten, I do get kind of jealous that I don't get to go with Tenten and I have to go with Lee, but whatever is whatever. So I just go with Lee and use my Byakugan to scout out other teams so we can get their scrolls. And after we hear loud sounds and attacks coming from afar, Lee tells me to use my Yakan to scout out that area, see if it's another team. And it actually is another team. I see that it's ninjas using sound, using like wind style jutsus to turn them into like sound attacks. I get afraid by this because this is actually a very powerful and talented thing to do. And I see Sakura just getting beat up and jumped by these ninjas. So, since Lee does like Sakura, we rush in that direction. And we have to face against like Team Dosu. And after that, well, not after that, I just gonna explain. We see, what was her name? Ken, I think? Yeah, we see Ken first. Ken, as soon as we get there, Ken instantly tries to throw needles at us. I dodge these, and they actually create a sound, and she rings this kind of bell. I don't know what it is, but it just makes Lee stop, and it also makes me stop being paralyzed, realizing that she put us in a genjutsu. Since Lee isn't that good at breaking out genjutsu, since he is like not experienced in using even ninjutsu, I have to break my own self out of it and help Lee get out of it too. After that, Kim was already in front of us with her Senbon, and she was about to slash one of my eyes out by a dunk, dodge it. And I hit her with a gentle fist, putting out her chakra point out in her arm, make her drop the Senbon, and I used the Senbon to stab her in the gut with it. She cries in pain and puts out another Senbon and jumps back and throws like multiple Senbon at me. And Lee comes in front of me, kicking all of them away. And then Lee appeared, body flickers behind Ken and hits her in the back with a hard kick, putting Ken out. So we have to have a decision which one will take Saku and which one will take Dosu. I agree to take Dosu, and Lee agrees to take Zaku. We both rush at our enemies, and I rush at Dosu with air palm shooting right at him, but Dosu easily counters these with his wind style sound based attacks. And he even shoots a wind style sound wave at me, which I have to use palm rotation to block with. And then I body flicker behind Dosu, hitting a wind style wind dragon coming up on top of Dosu, and I hit him and he uses both his hands to create a massive sound wave to block or just counter the wind dragon. And I'm amazed by this because he just countered one of my strongest attacks. I say, okay, then I gotta get serious. I bring out a kunai and say wind style. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called, guys. But y'all know that fight against like Danzo versus M and Sasuke. Well, you see how Danzo just used his wind style to cover like the kunai and wind style chakra. Then yeah, that's why I used that and rush at Dozu, and he goes in kunai, like we go into like a kenjutsu battle, clashing and stuff, and he uses while like blocking his other hand against my kunai. He uses his other hand to try to blast me away, covering myself in like a chakra armor, and hitting him with palm rotation head on. And fast forward to Lee's fight. Lee is doing a drop down kick on Zaku, and Zaku uses his wind style sound based attack to blow Lee off of him. smashing Lee into a tree, and Zaku keeps on firing these sound-based attacks, hitting Lee far, far back. Knowing what Lee has to do, he takes off his weights to get the speed advantage over Zaku. Using the speed advantage, he instantly starts blitzing Zaku from every direction. Zaku tries to hit him with a sound base to the right. Lee is already to the left of him, hitting him in the face. And it just like goes on, so on to like Zaku is just like almost completely beaten up by Lee, and only have to use some of his strongest wind style sound base attacks to really like counter some of Lee's attacks. And Lee was about to go summon the gates to just end the fight there, but I tell him no, because that would be like too serious, and we can end him in our base. I can just turn off the Tetsu points, and he just nods by this. But then we feel some aura from behind us. We feel strong aura, like it's just scary, terrifying. And we both turn around, and we see Sasuke with his Tutamori Sharingan activated, and just purple chakra or something just swirling around him with black marks covering most of his body. We see this, and then we see Sasuke just turn over towards Sakura, realizing that she's hurt, and she looks at Team Dosu and us, saying in an enraged voice, "Who did this?" And Zaku would say it was him, and trying to act tough, But you guys already know what happened. Sasuke just utterly destroys him, blitzing him, and just breaking the dude's arms. We see that Sakura, we see that like this is a big problem. Like Sasuke can like probably go haywire if we don't stop him. So I agreed to probably Lee going his full power to stop him. But Sakura was able to calm him down, making Lee, not have to do it. Lee puts on some extra weights, to, keep his speed, like unseen and still like surprising, even though I know what it is. And other, like Team Dosu does, but, And we see at this time, like, Naruto wakes up, and then he looks all confused with things, destroyed trees and stuff, and he asks what's happened, and I just tell him everything that has happened. Be like, oh wow, that's crazy. Thanks for helping us, Dorian, and Rock Lee. You guys are amazing. We say thanks, and then after a few hours we leave to catch up back with Neji and Tenten. After doing that, we would go into the tuning battles. And I guess like every other battle goes the same until it gets to me and LJ. I don't want me and LJ to face off right now. So I will say that I face against Tamari and he faced against Shikamaru. Replace those two so we can actually face in the other tuning exams. So, after, clearing all those other, canon fights, it's him versus Shikamaru and I'll explain his fight first. And one also disclaimer, guys, Orochimaru actually came into the Forest of Death and fought against Team Kurenai. Of course, they got utterly destroyed, and he was actually looking for Landon, giving him the curse mark, and Kakashi had to do the same for like sealing the curse mark for LJ at the end of the fight against Shikamaru. And guys, keyword, he only can use taijutsu, so this will be a pretty hard fight for him. So LJ just gets two kunais to assist him. He just rushes at Shikamaru, trying to dodge all of the shadows that Shikamaru was sending at him, weaving and dodging, and even one almost getting him, but he was luckily able to dodge out the way at the last second. When one shadow comes up from behind him, LJ jumps up into the air and grabs a kunai, grabs like two kunais actually no, not two kunais. He grabs actually a Fuma Shuriken and just throws that at Shikamaru, having to Shikamaru to actually have to like stop using the shadow paralysis and block the Fuma Shuriken coming at him. And it's two underneath like he did with Itachi, with there actually not being two. Now, there actually not being one, but just two. And this surprises Shikamaru having both of his hands full. And Landon will take this time to rush at Shikamaru, hitting him in the gut, sending him flying into the wall, winning the match. After like a few hours of him just dodging the shadow paralysis. But yeah. Then it will move on to my fight. Me versus Tamari. And sorry guys, I had to like clear my phone a little bit. And we instantly rushed into this fight with probably, a little bit like realizing that we're both wind style users very quick, cause she uses her wind style to create wind tornadoes, and I use my wind style to create wind tornadoes. Both of them clashing, creating dust in the air, and that dust just filling the air, like covering most of the crowd. And she uses her wind style to blow away the dust, and I'm behind her, about to going into like a taijutsu match. She sees me at the like last second, goes to the taijutsu match with me. Obviously, she can't win this, so she sends two wind sickles at me, like cutting air wind sickles at me that I have to dodge. And she takes this time to hit me with a breakthrough, but I countered that with my own breakthrough. And I started running at her. She tries to hit me with another one, but I dodge. And I take this time to activate the first gate, giving me extra speed. And I blitz right behind her and blitz all around her, hitting her. And then until I finally win, getting back at her to what she did to Tenten. Brutally beating her up bad with the first gate. So after winning that match, we start the 1 month training. And during this time, I just go and train with Hiyashi, him teaching me some more about the Hyuga techniques and why I need to probably even fight against Neji or even Landon. So, and I also go to Might God to master the 4th gate. And during this time, Landon goes and trains with Kakashi, actually mastering how to use Chidori and how to use extra fireball style jutsu. Why am I saying fireball style jutsu? Sorry guys, I'm nervous because YouTube videos, but how to use extra fire style jutsu to his arsenal. And by doing this, he actually comes back at the same time to know. Well, not the same time. He comes back they have to come back earlier because I have to fight against Landon in the tuning exams. So yeah, that will happen. And guys, I'm gonna end the video right here. There's gonna be a part 3, I think, probably Monday. I'm feeling Monday. So there'll be a part 3 Monday, guys, for you. And trust me, it's gonna be sick like these ones. And have a good day. Like and subscribe. You don't have to if you don't want to. And D.C. Fire out. See ya.